So we're very happy to do it here. And I think for Heretics, it's definitely going to be a difference maker. For example, I remember that back in EMEA, Koi, I had an interview with Starso, and he was telling me how sad he felt that the Koi fans were not attending their games because they knew that they could have that kind of impact.
Yeah, and fan reception as well will be the same on the other side for Sentinel, so that's certainly going to be something that both Heretics and honestly Sentinel's going to be mindful of. It's going to be loud in here, people. Get ready. But let's talk a little bit more about the Boo brothers here, because they were the story coming out of EMEA kickoff, and Bren, it just goes to show you that when you stick to the system and you build around these two guys, you'll find success.
Dude, I have been dead impressed with the way that these players have coordinated around themselves, as these brothers as well on the big stage, because they are so damn good at fighting aggressively and proactively for map control at different times. Part of it is because Midiboo is an absolute freak in nature on a Neon, but they are magnificent with a supportive util, and they pick and choose these little quirky timings when teams are setting up right when they least expect it. It's not just in the retakes, they're innovating in terms of smoke placements a lot of the time as well. Like, Boo has just been amazing with a lot of his util, but they're just always following up off of each other in the right ways to find the advantages. This is a round where arguably they shouldn't have won when Miniboo goes down first, but they stick together, they play for the fundamentals, and they end up coming out on top in situations like this. Here's another one that I picked out. They're just aggressively fighting for this mid control. Double flash play with a dash down. Miniboo does this so damn much. Gonna keep an eye out for this one as well. On a lot of different maps, they love to use this aggression to take those timings when their opponents aren't expecting it.
Some people would think that you would not like to play with your brother if you had the chance to. And actually, Boo, staying in Heretics for this year, coming in from the previous one, many people had the question of, is he going to be good enough? Was he one of the keys to the not success of Heretics? And he's proved everybody wrong, so I cannot wait to see the performance that these two are going to have on the big stage.
I think it's quite ironic coming from a Halo background that I'm just used to seeing brothers playing on stage all the time. So this is actually quite refreshing for me to see here in Valorant, but I think overall this matchup is going to be absolute fireworks, people. The best you could possibly ask for. Our coaches are ready for map selection, and we're going to be diving in just a little bit. But for now, though, let's just continue to just break down a bit more, like, what are you expecting from this matchup from both Sentinels and Heretics? It feels like it could go either.
I think that there's going to be a lot of nerves on the table. I think that the expectations for both of them are extremely high, right? Sentinels is the most clouded teams, and so is Heretics. With all the fans, you do not want to let them down. So I do expect a beginning with either one of the teams has a very strong upper hand against the other one, or very shaky beginnings where, you know, some weird pigs, weird mistakes, that kind of thing.
We've already seen rookies be tested in a lot of these matches so far. You think of like Caron really showing up. I'm going to be paying attention to Heretics, I think, in that regard as well, because we've got Rians playing on the stage, you know, for the first time essentially, and which wasn't a capacity. I mean, they were playing online for most of the kickoff, in fact, all of the kickoff. So I'm going to be paying close attention to that. It's a big question, I think, coming into the series of how well they perform, because Sentinels put a massive focus on playing off-season tournaments to offset that.
That's a great point there, Bren. All right, folks, well, our coaches are ready to go. Let's find out the battlegrounds for this epic confrontation between Heretics and Sentinels.
All right, welcome to Match Select, presented by Omen for match 2 of the day. We'll jump right in. Sentinels, you are higher C, Team A or Team B?
Team A.
Team A. So, TH, you will be Team B. Sentinels, we will start with your first ban.
Ban Breeze.
Breeze. Heretics, your ban.
Ban Aston.
Ascent, your map number 1.
Pick Lotus.
Lotus, side on Lotus.
Attack.
Attack. And map number 2. You have Bind, Icebox, Split, and Sunset.
Pick Sunset.
Sunset, side on Sunset.
Attack.
Attack. Starting the next round of bans, we have, starting with Sentinels, you have Bind, Icebox, and Split.
Ban Icebox.
Ban Icebox. Your ban?
Ban Split.
Ban Split. So map number 3 by default is going to be Bind, Sentinel, side on Bind.
Pick Attack.
All right. Okay. Good luck to you both.
Thank you very much.
Put map next. हे माझ्या त्या स्क्रीनला येल्लो बॉर्डर का दिसते? एनी आयडिया?
Match found.
हॅलो आयुष, माझ्या स्क्रीनला येल्लो बॉर्डर दिसते रे स्ट्रीमला. फुल स्क्रीन बघ एकदा. काय?
It's not an arena, man. I mean, it's going to be absolutely electric, like you said, between these two teams. I think heavy emphasis for both these teams. They place Sentinels not too much in terms of counter-stratting. Heritage, I feel like they love to have a lot of tape on their opponents. And guess what? Sentinels have plenty of it. They're going to find the challenge, I think, to really elevate and evolve their game so that they're not going to be caught into traps.
आवाज नाही येते, आवाज नाही येते तुझा.
They're going to be already figured out and worked out.
हॅलो
And I do wonder how much
आता बोल.
practice and how much time Sentinels have
हा
had as a
म्हणलं
team.
स्ट्रीममध्ये नाही दिसत आहे, फक्त तुला दिसते ती OBS वर.
ओबीएस ठीक आहे.
They had a ton of practice, right? But not a lot of turnaround from here to now. And,
कर काहीतरी पिक कर.
you know, that might be a shortfall for them. We'll have to wait and see.
इसो के इसो.
Same note, they with the Latin American community, so we're very happy to do it here. And I think for Heretics, it's definitely going to be a difference maker. For example, I remember that back in EMEA, Koi, I had an interview with Starso, and he was telling me how sad he felt that the Koi
टीम डेथमॅच डॉच करतायत राव. मी एम लॅप्स करणार होतो आता.
Match found.
TDM नसतं खेळलं तर. चालू आहे तर मॅच.
They have no idea how heartless I am.
कुठे जायचं गजरे? सांग तू.
Your fun. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna watch you fight. I'm gonna watch you die. Reloading.
Sentinels, of course.
And they're off. Show me a target. Try again.
one less. Reloading.
Reloading.
Grenade.
Ultimate orb spawning.
Reloading.
Bomb my guy.
मॅच नाही चालू आहे अजून. ए हो
Breaking them.
बॉईज मॅच चालू झाली आहे.
Reloading.
ठीक आहे एवढं संपव पटकन. हां वॉच पार्टी करू.
Reloading.
खेळायची आहे का?
Reloading.
No escape now. Reloading.
Reloading. Breaking them.
Reloading. Reloading. Fire in the hole. Feeling sight.
New stage in 10.
No escape. Reloading.
Stopping fire.
पेन्सनी काहीतरी राडा घातला ऐकू आलं
Got 4. Stand aside.
Threat destroyed.
संपा पटकन
Throwing net. Ultimate ready.
Who's next? 10 seconds until stage change. Final stage. That's 3.
टेन साइज
Distraction.
नाइस 2-1 1-1 स्कोर है
Throwing net.
शिराव काय होतच नाही माझ्याकडनं
Listen up.
वॉच पार्टीज करू
Deal with my call. Get out of here. Phoenix kill. Fire in the hole. Go get it. Ha! Got one. Four down.
Is weapons back on the board here for Sentinels. Zek can already one away from the showstopper. We do have the TP for 10s after this 7-2 start.
2-2 ह्याच्या आधीच सांगतोय 2-2
Towards C currently.
Opening gambit.
साऊंड आहे यूट्यूबचा
Maybe looking for the
बऱ्यापैकी
indicator there of what the setup is exactly. John QT and Zelsis
माझा जास्त येतोय ना यूट्यूबपेक्षा
hold on to their position for the time
हो
being.
किंवा नाही
I was
सांग
going to say, got to be careful there if he does remain out in the open.
Very precarious. They kind of cut noise for a second or two. Now here comes the burst. Testing the pacing. Forced away. And actually punished. Zelsis goes down. Now they've got to know there's an additional player. They should have noted John QT early, and I think you can see with Paddy Tech's utility, they're very aware. Securing the site, getting the plant, but now can SEN try and pressure back? Second, leading the way, looking for the damage, he gets it.
Nice.
Dealt with. Benji Fishy on the follow-up though. And now down to just 3. Sassy, John QT and Tens trying to disrupt this post plant, but that angle too good with Boo.
हा काढू
Just
शकतो
gonna
हा
hold it
मिनी
out,
बू
and I think they're running out of time and options here. Sassy gives them a moment of respite to work forward, but they're still too tucked by that pillar. Difficult, but not impossible. But John QT finds that. There's still a chance here. Boo buying time, but it's not enough. Now, Benji Fishy is sweating bullets. He's trying. He's got one. He needs another. He's got to run.
नाइस नाइस नाइस
Can't
झालं
get there in time.
काय म्हणलं 2-2
Steal it from under their nose.
इझी
The blink of an eye. It looked like Sentinels were locked out
यूट्यूबचा
of
हाय
that
करू थोडा
retake, Lauren. Heretics
आता चेक कर
takes a gamble, but John QT sticking at the defuse all the way through. What a crazy start to this map already.
They're standing.
The poison orb just splitting up the teammates here.
एंट्री भारी होती पण
I
गेकोची
don't even think even there if he's full sprinted back.
Right in, hold
right
on.
back to this on bubble.
Yeah, Zekken straight away going to deny Boo that early presence
Nice.
to a trouble that you noted was
Nice
high
try,
priority. And
Ray.
again, it's just a brawl. They're willing to fight this out. And Paddy Tech somewhat
Deep
trying to
Mini
tilt
Boo is.
the
दो
scales.
का
And
अडकलेत
that's right. Look at Mini Boo.
दो
But
का
there's still
अडकलेत
players in between. It's not a safe cross. Spamming the utility and spamming the weaponry. Benji Fishy going to catch one. And this is just mayhem in Madrid. What is going on in this matchup? Mini Boo is secured enough. They should be able to get that plant in. Zelsis, quite far away, has been that C player. Walking into the unknown here, and 3 players to disrupt.
Bulldog in hand. Heretics going to tuck themselves in here.
मी दिसत नाहीये का
You see on the X-ray what Zelsis has to stare down. Yet to get on the board either. Will require a 1v3. Taking his time with this. Might even just look for the exits, I believe, on the back side of the door.
Could try and make it costly. A couple players are starting to build up quite a bit of bank, though. You're looking at Boo, Benji Fishy. And here comes the exit. How much value does Zelsis get? Oh, that's a mouse problem right there.
Yeah, that looked like
Off
a
the
mouse
pad,
disconnect.
yeah, or something. We're going to have to see if there's a timeout after that one, because he was not happy with that in the cam either.
I do smell a tack.
टाकला रे हे काय
It's
source
either
मध्ये हे
that,
बघ
or he needs to move that mouse pad a little further over. It literally
yeah.
just like stopped.
This opening is just, I mean, talk about explosive.
Yeah.
It's Zekken to find the opening here, by the way. Finds the first blood. Already, Mini Boo's all the way wrapping back from A site
अरे
to
तो
backstab this center.
बॅकला गेला कॅमेरा फ्रंटला कसं आणायचं ते बघतोय
And I think you highlighted it right. These two teams will brawl. They are willing to be
Yeah.
explosive, risky plays. I mean, they've got the mechanics to back it up. I think we've seen that. And the other thing you were right about is Pausa Technica.
Okay.
Can you imagine what this pause would be for?
No.
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 Mystery.
Well, if we
to all
can
of
just
us.
get a replay of Zels's reaction on the webcam,
It was.
might give us some clues.
Well, see if producer
Okay,
Kevin is
na.
on our side or not. You
No, it's
know,
unfortunate. I mean, if it did fully disconnect, obviously you need
That's
to get that sorted before the next, but
Yeah.
not in a situation that, I guess, altered the outcome of that round regardless.
And I still feel like this game hasn't settled into a flow yet, or a rhythm, you know what I mean? It's still in that very much just kind of high-octane, very pressure point plays.
नाही नाही डिलीट वगैरे
A few
करायची
rounds
गरज
to
नाही
get the crowd, yeah, on their feet
ऑर्डर
already.
फक्त
Oh, yeah.
टॉप
I mean, no surprise to see Mini Boo leading in terms of numbers here.
Oh, producer Kevin's on it. Don't think the mouse was doing too well after that one. All good
Opacity
though.
full hai.
Pause. Come to conclusion, so hopefully no harm, no foul. But the only thing that is really rather harmed here is the economy. Sentinels.
Yeah, suffering now.
Yeah, not going to get much for that, and this could be the knock-on effect of a string of rounds here. But I mean, hey, they've turned stranger things. You know, other rounds have gone the way it shouldn't. So, and there's always threat. I don't think anyone's ever going to say that Sentinels isn't a dangerous team no matter what. So let's just kind of keep in mind that there could be problems. But beyond that, Heretics just going to be getting the lay of the land more than anything. Settle into this matchup. Some very young, inexperienced players to this level of stage are going to start feeling out the game here.
Sure, and you could almost call it a 50-50 with how the sixth man plays into that. But
yeah, true.
Especially if there are any nerves, if you have the crowd behind you making plays, the way Miniboo's certainly kicked this off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely a positive. The ability to ride that wave. Well, Sentinel's got a bit of a stack set up here. Back of the paranoia potentially.
Okay, jab midla.
Sassy jump spotting here. Bait the binner might even be the green light to make something happen, but paranoia thrown out.
No one could quite close the gap to that paranoia. A bit of a shame almost. That caught 3. That could have been lovely, but
Stack
as much as they'd want of it. But I like the attempt there though.
I think they've noted here just how many bodies on the back of that exchange are positioned towards A site. We're going to try and find some space, and he has done that with the pass lane.
Yeah, maybe going for that plant, gets denied, and now it gets a little bit scary, right? They're flying in, but the rifle's going to do what they need to. Zelsis still keeping it close enough.
He's got another one, he's got 3!
How the hell is Zelsis still finding this? Investing the ult now, they're actually giving this one. 13 seconds, they need a plant, and look at this positioning off the back of the ult. They don't hear it, but boom! Turns in time, and now it's down to 1.
Nice.
I told you they could get scary no matter the buy, but bloody hell. Zelsis made a damn good go of that one.
Obviously fixed that mouse problem.
Oh, yeah.
Straight into the thick of things here on this B site execute. The Heretics able to stabilize. And got to feel the pinch too much in terms of the funds on the back of that. Oh, I mean, that was the one. Yeah. Patatech just gets absolutely deleted.
Classic ne.
That's Heretics now a 2-round lead.
अरे मी महाडला चालले उद्या एक ताईचं लग्न आहे मग मी नाही इकडे.
Any intent from Sentinels to try and contest this area towards Mount. Let's take we'll get the pit online here.
You should run.
So with the lockdown heroes, well, they might even just force their way onto C site.
I'm looking to see if there was a lurk or something on top of this. I would quite like to see maybe some presence through B, but I mean, why not focus on the task at hand? They've got to make a quick escape here, because look at Miniboo, he's on the way. 2 players are detained, and Miniboo is hot on the heels. He wants to pressure this. The stun is outstanding, and so is Miniboo, and he ain't alone anymore. He's got Boo by his side. The brothers in arms, ripping apart Sen. Tense answers back, but by now the plant is in. It's 3 of them to take this back, and the pit's in place.
So much damage done here. Sentinels as 3 have to fight their way back through this pit now. Plenty of utility still at disposal of Heretics as well.
It's a reveal ala pahiye.
Considering, I'm not even sure actually if Sassy was looking like he was backing away. Certainly now with 10s falling, you have to consider the possibility, and it's like that's going to be the decision for Sentinels.
Yep, creeping away.
Missed that, yeah? I thought he was turning back for a second.
Same. And I wonder if they noted it, because they're committing. They absolutely saw a pixel, or at least predicted that play kind of falling back through CT. Not a surprise, but Sassy's in danger because that economy hasn't fully recovered. Miniboo's barely breathing, but willing to try and opt himself up for the trade, which they get. Clean sweeping Sentinels there. No weapons taken over.
2-1 score.
And they might start getting a little bit worried now because their economy is not fully recovering here. They have a couple of ults nearby that could help them out, but it's 3 on the trot here. Heretics going to be happy with this one.
This is just so beautiful for Miniboo and Boo. Said throwing everything.
Next map Sentinels.
Into the back line,
third map point Sentinels असू शकतो.
And rewarded for that aggression as well. I think Sentinels completely caught off guard by the stuns coming through from Miniboo.
2-0 नक्कीच नाही होणार. 2-1.
Good damage here. Is Miniboo still on it as well? The guy's got moves, looking like Foon out here, but he's still breathing and still fine. Settles into it.
And this was the first time we've seen 10s over towards Mound. So some intention of Sentinels addressing elsewhere, the other extremity, but Heretics, I'll be honest, winning out on both sides. The stars aligning for them this time around. And enough damage done on the way in that Zekan falls. John QT down to 15 HP.
Minibooचा aim भारी आहे रे.
Tagged up as well.
That spam is just so
maybe. असं मला वाटतंय.
To try and play against. And they got this done early. That's the scary part as well. Looking like they're trying to feign this B pressure, which is actually causing a great deal of reaction. 4 players in response to this.
I mean, that should be an open A site now.
Absolutely.
With all of this dumped into B. Sassy's not going to be able to get ahead of this either.
And they have no idea how far they've gotten. You can see the TP taken to check back site. They got what they wanted. Perfect fake play towards B. Not able to use the ult as wanted yet for Miniboo. But the plant's in. They've really got that good. Now, otherwise, Zelsis does have the lockdown. Sassy with a touch of kit left, tens as well, because he was adjusted over towards that C site on Mound. But if they want this retake, they've got to get it started soon. Ten's going to post the paranoia, TP taken back towards Tree, and Patatek waiting. Miniboo turns for a second, but his re-ends there. There's no threat to this. Sentinels are hitting a brick wall, and it's Heretics putting it there. Sassy again just wants to be able to get out with a gun, and once again denied. Miniboo is hunting them down. This is a whole new world for Sen to try and deal with. Heretics are the real deal here. John QT, Benji Fishy, he's right there as well. No guns taken over again. Flawless from Heretics.
They're feeling themselves. You can see as well the confidence is brimming. Nobody giving up any space on site. Two members of Heretics tucked under rope. All the way down towards drop as well. Sentinels, unfortunately, need to try and take control of this early, the early round. Take some of this control away from Heretics.
Happened overtime la
both extremities now. They have the run of the map.
I'm surprised I didn't see a timeout, if I'm honest here, because getting a bit worried when it was kind of like 2-3 rounds on the trot with the money where it was.
But now we're seeing it, look.
Yeah. Trying to really commit towards this, but they don't have a great deal to work with. This is with Sheriffs, this is with Buckies, this is with the Spike left in their hands. So, have you ever seen a fight here with this many players?
Nope.
Right, well.
And all I'm saying is Zekken has a Bucky and he's one away from Showstopper. If he gets a kill down and dirty in this smoke.
Oh.
Ians finds one. Gonna clear it out with his ult as well, potentially here as well.
They've made a mountain out of a molehill, haven't they? They've really made them work for this one. Now the smoke drops and the problems begin. Paranoia's gonna go. That Bucky doesn't get played in. Miniboo gonna feel the pressure. It's online. Here it is. The rocket comes out, does not get what they want, but they've been doing damage.
Nice shot.
Second on his knees. A follow-up not found. Sentinel's getting down and dirty here. They want to make this brutal, but they nabbed the spike. Patatek needs to hold the back line. He's got to be careful. They are so close by, but they backed away. Plant will be coming in now. They've got rifles, they've got all sorts now, Sentinels. What a play from them.
I mean, look at the utility though. Patatek and Benji have everything at their disposal to try and hold this down, but the lockdown's coming from Zelsis.
Massive timing on these ults coming in. Zekkens, sure, but Bucky was the key part of that, but Zelsis now is going to force the hand of Heretics. Oh, but they go in early. Benji Fishy will get caught, so it plays in Patatek. He has to be the one. Oh, not to be touched just yet. They're going to hear this, and that was a bit too far forward from Sassy. Thought they could have worked together, but Zelsis is still alive. Maybe he's the one, but time is not on his side here. A tap on the spike. Vulnerable, yes. He's going to deal with the utility, but he's got to deal with the spike. He's going to be taken down here. Benji Fishy playing forward. He's got it away. The timing. It's too late, and Sentinels fall.
And a beautiful bait and switch between Benji and Patatek as well. Patatek wraps all the way through spawn. Knows that somebody's going to try and charge down. As Benji dips his toes, finds a kill ahead of that lockdown. What a recovery. What an insane round.
Hey, look, I said it was mayhem in Madrid. This is just madness in Madrid now.
Next round, next round,
this is something different. What a wild matchup we're getting here. Heretics bringing out all the stops. We're seeing crazy plays from Sentinels. Some very creative ideas.
9-3, 9-3.
That round was goddamn close, and they had a Bucky and a couple of Sheriffs. Now they go back in with rifles. Still putting a lot of attention on towards this mound control.
A string of rounds unanswered. Heretics now looking to slow things down, reading that maybe on the previous, Sentinels feel as if they need to take some of the map. Zelsis now positioned over here towards A site with his utility. 4 members of Heretics with Benji. Last straggler. Walking into the blender here.
Who's he dealt with? We're going to have John QT close by. Oh, he does catch a little bit of that spam, but so does Boo on the other side. But he's got to be careful here. He does need to be holding this down as long as possible. Again, still being forced further away. Backside now. It's methodical.
He's got to get out now. The thrash coming through. It's going to clear a ton of space for Heretics. Be able to retrieve that as well.
Entry.
Be a comfortable plant coming through, but a full 5v5.
Oh, the
hang on.
positioning! Great work from Zelsis. Stuck around long enough, he might be just walking into his death now, but the value is huge. Now they're going to get in their faces, surely. Maybe not. Oh, Second's nade's going to do it. And now it's just getting ridiculous. Still no plant, but SEN apply the pressure, pouring back towards the site. And that time becomes a problem for Heretics. They can't find stability here. Sentinels turning the round on its head.
Zelsis is repositioned out to drop here as well.
I said
it should have been a safe plant there. I mean, Heretics try and
capitalize
on that much control and that much pressure by planting a little more open, maybe create some more opportunities. Unfortunately, Miniboo just, it's a little lost in the sauce here with all this utility exchanging.
Nice, boys.
Catches the back end of the paint shell. Sentinels a third on the board here.
Can they string it together though, Mike? I'm still waiting with bated breath on that one. Early contact towards B. Pressure towards Mound could mean a quick crunch. And John QT just want to buy time. You can see Miniboo's ahead of it, and look at that pace. The man is absolutely wild, but TenZ has answered back, and in kind, 3 for him. Leaving Heretics in ruins. Miniboo barely alive on 16. Boo standing tall, but a tough position to be in with the spike so deep in enemy territory. And SEN shouldn't give up an inch here. Don't think there's much Boo can do about this, really quite pinned in.
Zekken will be the first. Looking for this flank here. Boo's ready for it. Just can't pin him down. 16 HP now for Miniboo. Sentinels identifying here as an opportunity to take some control back.
Nice.
With Zekken and TenZ positioned on Mound here. The backstab through the door, perfectly timed ahead of this B-side execute.
They're recovering. This is what they needed. Very important couple of rounds there too for them to leverage just a little. And there it is, yeah.
I didn't know I came through with 2 wall breaks through the box.
Yeah.
This was the final. Yeah, lovely. And no matter how you get them, SEN needed a couple of rounds here. Money's still okay, at least for this round for Heretics, so not much of a problem. Alt-wise, not a great deal online. Patitex, yes, the rest, no. Are they willing to fight this out? Paranoia goes in, it doesn't affect Zekken, so he does get to strike. That's Benji Fishy gone. Post plan could get a little trickier if they make it through.
Get rid of the line.
Mound control themselves here.
1 for 1.
Chance
to recoup here. Zekken actually has himself an operator to play with now as well. Swing onto this.
Nice shot.
Almost a setup there for a high-low swing. Miniboo the one to find the headshot.
Rotate.
Now man advantage here for Heretics. Sassy ult in hand. Patitech does have a Viper's Pit, so opportunities to really secure a post plant here.
Nice hold, nice hold.
Decide to continue. It looks as if, yeah, John QT's given this all the way up.
Viper band aata hai.
Having to sit deep on this though, hasn't he? He can't take a challenge, maybe just trying to keep control of CT for the play back in. The rotates are far away. You can see how hyper aware each team is of each other. Smoke goes up deep. Pit's already there. That's 4 players to find. Sassy does have his ult. He's got a lot of util left to invest.
Everyone but Rians, actually.
This is big. Can they make the most of it? Yes, Sassy does very well to find Miniboo. That's the first step. Patitech is still in this ult though, and he's in a lot of danger actually. You can see this.
You can slow this down still.
There it is. Nice of time, and Boo just waiting. Anything that appears on the screen, he wants to remove it. Oh, he's getting tagged up here. This is so precarious, so dangerous, and Zelsis takes him down. Patitech! That's what they needed, and that's what they get. They finish with a flourish here in the first half. Heretics making a statement here, Mike. 8-4 in the lead.
Yeah, they come out swinging. So any questions about the confidence definitely squashed here in this first half. Sentinels able to make it at least an honest go with things here, but a string of rounds unanswered. Be loving that if you're a Heretics fan.
And at this point, I think if you're a Valorant fan, you're probably pretty happy too.
Definitely,
this is an explosive game. We all wanted this caliber, this quality is what we've been looking for. The resurgence from Sentinels means they're still in this half. There is still a solid chance for them here, but they have to get off to a banging beginning in the second.
एवढी वाकडी स्क्रीन आहे बघ.
What a terrific start it is for Team Heretics here. And I managed to sneak myself into the streaming booth to join Mixwell. How exciting is it to see your team compete on this stage in Spain, of all places?
I mean, so far we're playing really well and the crowd is insane. Hola a todos! Hey!
मला हाकताना बघा.
I love it here. I love it. It's a dream come true. There was talks that maybe VCT was gonna come to Spain, and in the end it was in Berlin. So I'm super happy that finally we have an international event here.
Yeah, it's very special to have a Spanish team make it as well.
I was not expecting it to qualify, but we beat everybody. We played so well during kickoff, and now we're also playing super good. And thank God Rian's came yesterday.
Yeah, it's really nice to see him on stage. Now, I want to roll the years back real quick, because you played against Tens before. You faced Sentinels. How do you stop a player like him?
I think you need to not let him have the space that he needs. He's a super skilled player, and you always have to be aware of what he could do. Really aggressive. So as long as we keep him, as long as we trade him, we're good, because when players are so good as him, you can always die first, but you need to trade him always.
Just take him down. And lastly, any words for the Spanish crowd? One more time.
Chicos, lo estáis haciendo genial. Haced mucho ruido, vamos.
Woo! Well, let's see if Heretics can close it out in front of this electric crowd.
Thank you. Great to hear from Mixwell there.
Always is.
You know, it has been a great first half. I mean, the scoreline, you'd be forgiven to think it was a bit more one-sided, but how explosive was that?
I mean, I'll be honest, one of the most exciting starts we could have to this series as well, with Sunset to follow up. We'll get to that. We'll get to that when we do.
Why have you reminded me?
But this is exactly what you want out of these two teams. See what Sentinels now have to respond in the second half. They may be caught off guard a little bit in the first. You've got to imagine Heretics are going to continue to be proactive, dial into this pace once again.
Patient beginning, though, coming out from
Very, yeah.
Slow, steady. Showing a little, obviously, off the back of that Dizzy, which is going to be drawing 3 players to be posted towards that C site.
85 झाला पाहिजे.
Already Minibu may be considering the others, but as it stands, very patient.
Spike this side with Zelsis. 3 players of Sentinels looking to at least show presence towards Rubble, but the fact that Benji's solo over there, he's not going to be peeking. He's not really going to be looking for any information. Very much looking to absorb any sort of pressure that does come his way, but Minibu has across to give him some support.
There's the first contact.
That's a ton. That could actually pull the rotation. I think it's about to. Look at Rins and Patitek right now.
Lovely fake play here from Sentinels. Now, Boo's seen enough that he should be calling someone back. There's been no further contact. There's still the utility there.
Sentinels haven't got in though, and it's 30 seconds.
Is this a pivot? I mean, they're trying to feign a pivot, but still, they're leaving this very late. Now, fortunately for them, they have got sight. You can already see the respect shown from Boo that it's not worth dying on your own to hold this, so he's drifted back towards CT. They're grouping up already. Plant is in, but 5v5 post-plant. Who's got Kit? Who's got Util? Zekken has the boom bot. You got Sassy. But on the other side, a fair bit still to play with Heretics. They've held on to theirs. So maybe Zekken willing to challenge on this, but he's got to be good for it. And oh, he is. He's bloody great for it. Zekken, good for 2. The answer comes in, but Zelt is still standing. Sassy on the back lines, leaving Boo just the only man standing in a 1v3. And yeah, that one's been handled. Sentinels, lovely composure here on the first in the second.
You feel like Heretics are ahead of that, but I think just too many question marks planted by Sentinels. The misdirection with the door as well. You can see the pings coming out even after the plant is confirmed on C. They're so conscious of potentially, I mean, any number of these 3 players that were spotted outside Rubble being in position to backstab, but matter regardless, came down to the gunfights on the way back through, and Sentinels stand strong. Things within 3 rounds now.
He पण easy round Sentinel साठी एकदमच easy. तिघ इकडून push करतायत. दोघं seal आहेत.
SEN certainly applied the pressure on the first half doing this sort of stuff, but don't know if Heretics have it the same way. But let's see. John QT very much aware of the possibility, sitting quite deep, just shouldering the angle, while the rest of Sentinels kind of showing a lot of presence, being boisterous around the map.
Gusta C.
Benji Fishy very uncomfortable on that C site. Rolling in for Patatech.
Valley
Again, keep
entry.
in mind this is classic Ghosts, Sheriffs. This will take a lot. Go right for Heretics. Sentinels should be looking to keep this clean. Coming with a nice bonus potentially. The third round of the second half. Plant should be there. Don't think any disruption to that will be in place. No. So lovely work from Sen again. Keeping 5 standing, navigating well to the C site. Getting the plant in place.
Really about what damage Heretics can do on the way back in here. Seasonade going to go through. Boot, I don't think caught up in that, no. Second up close to personal again, but he gets flashed.
Still breathing, still standing, and still
Logan
got
na
two Sentinels.
Logan na kaadle
Very nice work. No threats really made from that. Second went down, but that's not the end of the world. They are happy enough moving forward. He's one away from his ult already. This is the perfect start for, again, a fantastic second half.
round Heretics.
Now Heretics can really slam the brakes on. Find a response here. 2 freebies from Zekken. That close up with the stinger. A real old progress for Heretics to fall back on. We enter round 3.
Here comes the fun. You got that leftover buy, right? The bonus here for Sen. You got the purchase coming out for Heretics. And Sen again, so mobile, so agile around this map.
Very active, yeah, very active.
Hard to get your players in the right place. Again, Miniboo trailing behind. He's trying to get over
And
to
Doga
potentially.
ekatra
They've been somewhat conditioned to be believing in this C-site hit, which, I mean, looks like it's on the cards.
Nice.
Utility invested here. Fishy going to respect this, backs away wisely, but Patstek might get caught in the corner, and he does. Opener found here by Zekken once again. He's not done just yet. Like he was entertaining the idea of following up on the boom bomb there. Open plant, Sentinels can fully reset off this now.
Difference.
Tough egg to crack for Heretics on the way back through once again onto C site.
This C-take has been looking unstoppable, and this would be a bonus conversion. This would be outstanding for Sentinels. Already, though, Ten's going to get a little bit of contact here. Outdone by Miniboo, but Sassy then takes the next layer of pressure as they sweep the site, Miniboo again. But how do they break that deeper post?
So much util.
Absolutely, Mike. It's very difficult to even get on the spike itself. And I think Heretics might know that. John QT, sharp as ever, and Miniboo just puts his life on the line. And this is a dream for Sentinels. Lovely string of rounds now, upgrade to the rifles. It could not have gone better.
I noted it earlier, the Sentinels placing too many question marks across the map here. Heretics almost forced to kind of play retake on all 3 sites unless they can confirm some sort of information. Need somebody to go hunting here for Heretics. Because to much of what we saw in the first half, Sentinels have free run of the map right now.
Yes, they do. No solution yet for that C-take or the retake, potentially. Sheriffs aplenty, and a fight to be found. Zekken, again, this guy, his early work has been exceptional. Cracking open sites, being a real nuisance boot.
Good for
bad,
one, yeah.
But you've got a whole lot more to find. And they are still continuing along this A pathing. Rien's.
Not possible.
Man, this is not a fun spot to be in now. Oh! That's a shot! That is a goddamn shot. Any more of those? Tens, though, creeping closer. Rienz did get another one. This is getting way too close for comfort. This shouldn't have been a 2v2. But Heretics have made it nasty. Tap on the spike, calling back in Benji Fishy. They are facing on this. Great heads-up work from Sen. Keeping track of potential.
Nice.
What can Benji Fishy do? A 1v2. It would be miraculous.
They're pinging out the rifle here, but I think it's been cycled across elsewhere.
He's struggling to find something. Might just have to be that Sheriff until he gets towards site, maybe back site even. How does he clear tree on this? The turret, but that's not enough. Look at that setup! Oh. Still made a go of it. Still a threat. But it's tied up now, 8-8. Sentinels, this second half is looking theirs. Lovely beginning. Yes, ult starting to hit, but Heretics pumping the brakes.
First timeout called here. Definitely going to want to try and take stock of what's gone wrong in the first few. A banging shot from Rienz to open things up.
It's wild.
Patstek, unfortunately, just forced into a corner here on drop. Unable to provide too much assistance.
Equalizer झाला score.
See what the switch up is for Heritage coming out. There's 4 rounds unanswered here by Sentinels, and like I said, they have free run of the map. Same way Heretics did in the first as well. Again, without the benefit of the economy, maybe feeling a little apprehensive to put Miniboo kind of in that danger zone and look to brawl with Sentinels. Dare you say it, a team you really want to be brawling with.
It is so mirrored, it feels like, after watching that first half. Like, cleaner, actually, from Sen more than anything, but still, Heretics without an answer.
I guess a little more, it feels a little more controlled from Sen versus what we saw from Heretics. There was a lot more trading, reliance on the fundamentals for Heretics, and Sentinels definitely looking a little cleaner in that regard, I guess, is the way to look at it.
Oh, very much so. Couple of ults, though, for Heretics to bring into effect in this round. Sen on a million miles away from theirs as well. Keep your eyes towards it there. That is very much on the horizon for them, but Heretics could try and take back some control with this. But then now the Sentinels just switch something up, right? Just play a little out of pocket here, just coming out of this timeout. Let's see what they go for. They've been determining pace here in the second. Early exchange of util will be towards that B site, but not much intention behind it.
I think Sentinels anticipating a little bit of a switch up here in terms of aggression from Heretics. QT on a solo mission here to plant the seed, but majority of the stack must be in C site here for Heretics. Very tempered approach. He's got to be careful. Don't want to see him get caught off here as the solo anchor towards A.
He's got to be playing this smart.
Again, his ultimate huge in terms of a retake as well.
They're all coming this way.
Yeah, this is a little dangerous for Rians.
Sentinels, but yeah, Rians is in a lot of danger. And again, you'd see that Prowler just sent through towards B is keeping both players very present there. Oh man, he's got to have two here. Back away with his life if he even wants a chance at this. Now he's got to be worried. He's got to be so worried. He's seen so much. He's actually made it out with his life, which if anything is incredibly impressive, and just has to try and hold towards CT, because Sentinels, you can't stop that roll. There's no way you can hold back these players here. Has to wait for reinforcement, but this will be a plant for Sen, and once again, a very comfortable post plant.
Yeah, Zek and John QT looking to take a ton of space up towards heaven here.
Oh, but diligent work from Heretics. This is nice, but do they get punished? No, they don't. Somehow Zekan's still here. Miniboo's gone ahead of him. This is madness. Zekan finds Rians. Miniboo still be holding this one. Beautiful work from Zekan. How is he getting away with it still? Miniboo just trying to dodge, trying to live, and he just can't. It's all on Boo now, and it is wild, and he's still kicking. 7 HP in a 1v1 out of nowhere. Oh, Sassy! Holds that, but what a ridiculous run.
I mean, how has Zekan survived that long? Again, he gets blinded up. This time, a Vandal in hand. Still finds a kill blind. It's just absolutely ridiculous. What a crazy exchange up on heaven here. Absolute heroics from Zekan, and Boo comes back, finds these two. Unfortunately, not to get the drop inside the smoke and clutch things out. You see the heartbreak as well.
So, got to say, Zekan is on an absolute heater as well this game. You looked at his value as well, of his opening kills coming into this. It looked fantastic for him. But
I mean, when he's playing like this, literally, Sentinels just resort towards let him off the leash.
Yeah, do it.
Pick a side and put him in there.
He's got his ult. He's got 2 potential victims. Let that man go. Let him fly. And he's away. Does he find anyone this time? It looks like he does. He can't stop winning. Finally put down by Benji Fishy, but he's granted them access to the site again. Ten's in a little bit of danger here, actually. Yeah, can't make it out. And Sassy, though, again, the backbone here. Safe hands to hold on to some of these key kills, these key rounds. And Boo's only got a Sheriff. All the devotion and desire in the world won't get him this round at this point. It actually looks, yeah, I mean, at this point, gotta say it, Sentinels, what an answer, and Boo is just playing safe. He's doing the tactical timeout without calling it just yet.
He's going to take this time, make the most of it here, try and get the team back in line. I don't even know if we're anticipating a timeout as well on top of this to try and maximise, but Sentinels have come back swinging in the second half.
Just be looking to just run this round out. There it is. Had his chat. Now, do we see the timeout to follow? because they have not found a solution here to Sentinels at all.
No, I'll be honest, they've been battered in the second half. They haven't really had an opportunity to really get anything going. Economy aside and the way that Sentinels are playing, like I said, it feels like a game of control.
Yes.
And the comparison in the second half being, Heretics have been a little apprehensive to dip their toes. Maybe you'd argue losing the first couple and being on the back foot of the economy, but there hasn't been much of a response, and it's looking like the response might be an operator in the hands of Miniboo and slowing things down. I'm not sure if that is the answer that Heretics need.
Solo,
It's not going to help things. A missed shot like that, but now they know it's there, right? They've seen one of the cards that Heretics holds, and now what does this do to Sentinels? Good to see Zelsis really chatting something through.
I mean, you arm somebody like John QT with information like that off the rip in a round. So it gives them plenty of options. I mean, look at Sentinels on X-ray here. They're waiting to see if there's any further aggression. Miniboo's already preemptively rotated away.
Maybe expecting
Boo's going to have it. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Anticipating. We've shown the operator here. They're going to try and hit towards B or C, but...
No one's rotating either, Mike.
Nope.
They think this is a fake.
Yep.
Sentinels,
well,
why would they show you respect?
Exactly. They've had the run of the map. They've been able to plant these question marks time and time again.
This actually might work out.
This
might work out.
A miracle for Heretics. They're trying to dig out the lurk now.
Yeah, that's what their intent would be. Patatek and Benji Fishy looking for John QT, but now there's going to be a bigger surprise. They found Sassy, and Miniboo's in the right place. They've almost stumbled across the solution to what was going on here. Oh, great work from Miniboo. 10's trying to get ahead of the curve, and that's a spike lost now. Hard work here for Zelsis and John QT to bring this back. Can they evade the eagle eyes of Miniboo?
Got a lockdown to work with as well, so if they can find a kill and feel comfortable enough, they could secure the site for a little longer, but Zelsis goes exploring. Miniboo happy to take that one.
1v4? That's a lot. Find a position to work from. Plan's fine for him here, but there's problems. But he's taking down the first one. Benji Fishy falls. He needs another couple. Paranoia evaded. He's still standing. This is good, but he needs to be able to deal with the diffuser, and he can't quite do it just yet. The spam's not landing, and he knows it. Great damage, but it's not enough there. Heretics just about tipping this one back in their hands, and it felt like Sentinels walked into that rather than evading it.
They didn't save across the operator either. I'm not sure if somebody was scrambling to pick it up at the end there, but yeah, I got to say, it almost feels like the stars aligned for Heretics here to be in a position. Sentinels feel like they've done so much in terms of, I guess, pumping this fake, creating a little bit of pressure. Heretics, I guess, stick to their guns in terms of what they commit to. Over towards A.
But it could still be a flash in the pan, right? That C site take was still not fixed. And Zekken back on this pace. TP this time is committed to. Tens is there. What a horrible predicament for Heretics. You got Zekken in the front, Tens in the back, and there's nowhere to hide. Zekken on the hunt, you can see it, Patatek back to the wall. They're surrounded. They're still trying to fight their way up. Benji Fishy can only stay alive for so long. That was such a well-constructed site take from Sentinels. Again, flexing their capability here. Miniboo has found John QT, so this isn't completely free. It's not completely safe. Ten's the one to be holding them. Deep smoke towards CT to try and secure some of this.
Waterfall push करा लावा था.
Dips away, but this time, can the
Spike's finally coming down.
I thought he already went down.
No, I was watching for a second there. Sassy waiting out everything. Riens has actually found Tens.
Oh, that's not good. But Zelsis still breathing. Sassy as well. Sassy has been good in these, but it's Miniboo and Riens. You saw that aim from Riens. You've seen Miniboo's impact. But these two are nasty. Hard to play against. They're both in that corner. How do you clear this? Miniboo dives on in. Oh, it's lovely work again from Sassy. Finding two. The rock of the team here. Getting them up to 11. Sentinels looking large and back in charge here.
And this suffocating execute onto C site, the paranoia and the nightfall covering everything here. But it takes Sentinels, well, it feels like a decade to get the spike down. So paranoid of maybe a pre-take coming back through from the remaining members of Heretics, but able to course correct here. And Sassy to close things out. That's got to feel like a sigh of relief, though, for Sentinels to get that one across the line.
Got close there, didn't it?
Yeah. Up to 11 now, Heretics.
On the ropes.
Yeah, I think that's why we see the second time and a continuation of boot from that previous round. So the only one round, a flash in the pan for Heretics in the second half here to really pin their hopes to. Not going to have the finances here, so looking like they have to almost concede towards map point. Mini Boo won off his ultimate. Boo, Patchtek and Benji all with theirs. Some options here, but again, the purchase is not going to be pretty. Throw everything but the kitchen sink into this one.
I'm looking at that purchase and it's still not getting better, is it?
It's
not much to write home about.
I think they're actually dialing it back a little bit.
Yeah, I think they might have to suffer through this
I
one.
think that, yeah, they are going to concede here.
They'll make a go of it. Obviously, it's not going to be a freebie, but it's certainly not going to be everything they want me to do. Just okay, that's
how you make your Guardian work.
Yeah, and that's Second Gon, who has been so paramount. Yeah, he has been paramount to some of the success Sentinels has early in these rounds as well. So it'll be interesting to see now with him taken away so early on, what do they lean back to? Do they continue along this pathing towards B?
It's so late in this half to see Heretics get aggressive like that.
You'd almost wanted them to try it earlier, didn't you? But
the response is Sentinels have walked in all the way into B, but they found Benji Fishy elsewhere. Sassy will fall. Zelsis quick with the trade, but should get the plant down here. No, still for a little misdirection here, baiting out potentially anybody from Heretics. So QT able to slow this down with a snake bite.
Very valuable, that.
Oh! But the smoke drops, Boo finds him.
Boo could not have found that at a better time. That unleashes the rest of his side to come on through. He gets forced out. But still, where's the rest of the three? Where are the others coming in from? Now they come through tens. Can't hold it. And now it's on Zelsis. 1v2. Oh, Zelsis! That's his round with a Red Bull clutch. Even with the finest of margins, Sen don't let them have a moment of rest.
I mean, it's such a beautiful read as well. The call to just shift walk up behind that first blood. Ballsy, but Benji Fishy the only one really to throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
And that kill was ridiculous. I saw Zelsis got caught by the paranoia. I didn't know if it was slightly off time, but finds that first headshot completely blind.
This is the round the Heretics were waiting on. Very late in the day, plenty of ults to play with, and it looks like Heretics up for the brawl, up for the fight. And Second, though, is normally good for this. It's Tens this time going to take the headline. Boo goes down. Sentinels in control here. This is their map choice, and they've just suddenly made it look like it on this second half. Rien's, Benji Fishy, and Palitek. I mean, you've just had to watch your team get massacred on that little bit of aggression they've been dabbling with, and it's so early in the round.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Sentinel's another situation. Benji Fishy going to be the one to try and stop things once again. He's unchecked with a utility. Could play him in here, but there's a ton of bodies on the other side of this. Unfortunately, somebody's going to turn for that alarm bot as well.
Yeah, almost counterintuitive. Okay, that's helped him out. And the lineup. I thought he could add two. He doesn't in the end. And the Palitek gets pushed aside. And once again, Sentinel's just taking the tour of the map. Hitting just about every site they want to. And this has been their stronghold. This C site has been theirs.
This has been the definition of running rings around a team. This second half from Sentinel, so much misdirection. Heretics unable to find a grasp on the plan in time. At just 36 HP now for Rians.
A tough task here. First map is wrapped. Sentinels back on the international stage, looking exceedingly strong. That second half, Mike, is something to be very impressed by.
I was a little worried in the first, I'll be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Heretics definitely come out swinging, but what a response in kind from Sentinels. Mini Boo and Zekken definitely the headliners here in this map one.
13-9 is map one. Who knows where Sunset goes? But do stick around.
तोपर्यंत काय करायचं सांगा. चला scribble.io.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Yes, problem. You need
What's
Verizon.
my day?
Check it out. You get a new
Tournament
iPhone
Valorant
15 Pro with tons of storage, so you
tournament.
can take all the pics. So many selfies.
यूट्यूबर
That means
चांगला
panoramic.
कमबॅक होता.
And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None, yeah, none feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us.
Oh my
Only
god,
on
बंद झालं
Verizon.
भाई. लावायचं का आपण टी व्ही लावायचं का आहे का याच्यावरती चालतं का
Red Bull gives you wings.
have entered an old password. स्क्रिबल करायचं का scribble.io माहिती आहे का नको भाई इथं नको आत्ताच सुरू झाले माझं हे हो प्लॅटर तू बघत नाही ना लावू का वाड्या एमलेम नको ना तुला scribble.io रे दाखव अरे असे वर्ड्स असतात वर्ड्स आपण ड्रॉइंगमधून एक्सप्लेन करून दाखवायचे अरे हे लोड का ना सोपे असतं म्हणजे असं काही खूप डिफिकल्ट नाही आहे काही वेळेला येतात पण त्याच्यातनं मग काय ते वेगळंच भलतंच ड्रॉइंग वाटतं आणि मग ते होत नाही नीट हे अरे काय होते हे कुठलं स्क्रिबल आहे ओरिजिनल कुठे गेलं अरे बकवास आहे कुठलं तरी जाऊ दे सोड असं काय नाही किती पण करू शकतो
What a fantastic start that was from Sentinels here in Masters Madrid. I'm now joined by their coach, Coach Kaplan. Now, your attack side, what a masterclass. Zekin, 5 first kills, 5 rounds won. How much of your game plan, your
So we now
strat
know
was
that Valorant's new
relying on the
controller
fact that he
agent
does
is
get
named
those kills?
Clove. And the funny thing is that this didn't even come from a leak or leakers or anything. In fact, it just comes directly from the game itself. In the practice range, you can find this email from Deadlock, which is pretty vague. You can see there, it simply says our new friend, and uses they as well. Keep the new agent's identity a secret for now. However, if your game language is in German, we also got these voice lines of some of the other agents talking about Clove. So take a listen to them and especially pay attention to Phoenix's.
Right here, folks.
behind an empty body bag.
That certainly did not disappoint.
Can I just say how much I
Sentinels, you know,
love the
they
new
come into this one, Kukuka,
I know I
you know,
like
in a
anyone that
hostile
doesn't
environment, some might say, but then I also hear
Really
the
pretty
crowd
interesting to see
cheering
how
them
that
too.
actually works.
Exactly.
It's like, you know, they're feeding off of the energy both teams in the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it is something that could not definitely get a lot into their heads, and I think that there were some people supporting them. Both of the halves were defined.
काय रे याच्या abilities काय आहेत रे
that it's brilliant
अरे रिलीज वगैरे झालेलं का
both of the teams, and also a little bit of shaky nerves at some points.
Yeah, I thought SEN were going to be honestly just cooked as well. When they lost in the eco round around 2, round 9 when they had the spike in their possession and they couldn't even keep it from Heretics getting into the post plan and actually
कधी होणार आहे रिलीज
it was looking pretty much done and dusted, but the attack side was where they all came alive for both of the teams, like we said. And honestly, the macro play, the macro call in John QT, big indicator of that one. But of course, got to give credit to Zekken versus Minibu. These guys basically playing identical roles in terms of their position of trying to be those entry players and being set up to succeed. And they were going toe to toe. But look at that first blood percentage of Zekken. I mean, 31.8%, converting on most of those into round wins as well on their attack side. I mean, this kid is for real. I said one of my hot takes at the beginning of this was that at the end of this tournament, Zekken is going to look like the best player in the world. And I think that
I thought that it was the Tens was going to improve his.
Well, that too.
That
was another hot
several
take.
ones.
Was that
Okay.
He just says a lot of things.
Tens is going to break his record.
And one of them might
Zekken,
land, right?
Yeah, and then Zekken is going to be the best player in the world. So one of them might land, maybe. But, I mean, we're well on the way for one of those to happen. Ten started the match with a bloody ace. So, I mean, listen, anything can happen.
I mean, what a way to come out here. But I think, though, for the Heretics, there is, you know, that there certainly wasn't going to be an easy match for them, not by any stretch of the imagination. But to see this team newly formed really has proven to me this squad is the real deal. This isn't like shenanigans over in the NBA. No, this was the real deal. This squad can play.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not that, you know, they were completely obliterated. The ideas were still there. Sentinels just came on top. I think that Sassy had very important late rounds. I think that also what we saw in the graphic is that even though Zekken was getting those kills, he wasn't doing that much damage during the round because Minimu was, you know, staying alive for longer because his role, even though it's the same, is a bit different in the macro style from both of them teams. Now, looking into Sunset, things are going to be very similar for the side of Heretics.
Oh, yeah.
Bren, you were saying it, probably the reason why Sentinels wants to go into this maps is because of that Neo.
I'm excited for this map. Now, I'm not going to use the same term that I used earlier, but I am very excited for this Sunset map because you're looking at one of the best maps again for both of these teams for similar reasons. And I did point it out in the pre-show.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this in a second, though. We do want to hear from the coach on the other side of the field for the Heretics. Yinsu standing by.
Heretics are about to take the stage again, but first I'm joined by their coach, Neozinho. Now, map 1 defense, a little bit shakier from you guys. Zekken seemed to cause a lot of problems for you, so how do you think you should be dealing with him going on to map 2?
Honestly, for us, it wasn't about them on their attack. It wasn't even individually. So I'm not even thinking about how we deal with Zekken. Like, we completely threw that defense ourselves. We were not proactive enough. We let them execute on us. So next game, we just need to focus on ourselves. Go in, be more disruptive because we were taking really good aim drills on attack. We were sticking to our fundamentals, and that's why we were winning. And that kind of just we played a little bit scared, but that's fine. So that's what we're going to do next game. We're going to play how we want to play and be more proactive and take aim drills because we cannot hit them, and we showed it in the first half. So.
I mean, Neil, you come back from these positions before. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll see if you can indeed do it.
They feel confident in those angles, and they have a good reason to be.
Yeah, I mean, did you see those shares? Like the shots coming from Benji, from Drew, from literally anybody in this.
That's a bold statement to say against Sentinels, though.
Exactly, right? But we saw it on the stage, and of course, we see the crowd going crazy for them, celebrating, giving them cheers when they most need them. And of course, coming into this second map in Sunset, it has to be the same coming from them.
Yeah, I think that proactivity being called out by Neozinho was honestly spot on. I think nail on the head with that one because it's one of the part of the reasons why Heretics is such a scary team is those aggressive plays. Yeah. I mean, I pointed it out, you know, before we got into this match, but it's working off with the double flash setups when they played at Gecko and the KO comp as well, and setting up Minibu for success. They weren't doing that on the defense side of Lotus. They were really just letting them have free reign, playing really quite far back, and they allowed Sentinels to get back into the action.
Just a side note real fast, want to let everyone know at home here that after this match is done, we're going to have the Swiss round 2 draw show
करू जरा
immediately
timepass.
after the post-match interview today. So after the interview, make sure you stick around because there's going to be more to talk about. But Kukuka, what you got?
Exactly, because tomorrow we need some matches, right? And
We need some matches.
Exactly. We need some winners tomorrow. Don't time to send anybody home just yet.
चलो
Going
काय
back and
2-0
picking up
का
what you were saying, Bren, about those double flashes, probably, and thinking about Sunset.
For 2-1.
That is what we're going to get from the side of Sentinels. If nothing changes coming into this tournament, we also mentioned the short window of time before coming here to Madrid, and I think that maybe one of the keys for Heretics coming into this Sunset might tweaking a little bit of those things, because I'm not sure and I'm not sold on the KO Sova
1-2 चे chances कमी वाटतात मला. 2-0 किंवा 2-1.
I like them separate, you know, but I don't like them together.
It is pretty slow. I mean, when you run that, I think Sentinels, they like to run the very similar comp that we saw earlier today, which PaperX are running on Sunset. I mean, they essentially, I think they stole it from PaperX as well, from scrims when they were playing in Korea. But they play really well. I mean, their retakes with the comp is incredibly strong. They understand this necessity for like fighting over that extremity control, using the double initiator at times for that. And so this is a really good map for both of these teams.
Yes.
I'm just itching now to get into this agent select so I can see, are there going to be any alterations? I don't think there will be. Both of these teams haven't had as much time to really chop and change a lot of their game plans. And both of these teams are very confident on this map, so I can't imagine they would have changed.
And you heard Neil. I mean, I think you're right, Brent. They're just going to play their game. I really think that.
I think everybody says that.
Everyone
you know?
says it, but I genuinely believe it here, though.
It's not that they won, it's that we lost, you know. But I think that is the kind of no. But being honest, that is kind of the mentality that puts you through the next match. The fact that everything is in your hands. It's not that you get an outlet. Is that actually you stepped on your own toes.
Yeah, and not to say anything about Neil, but I always call it the delusional confidence that you have to have all the time, no matter what the
Being
circumstances
the Lulu
are.
is the Salulu. Right?
But yeah, there's certainly going to be a lot of tension on that stage in a little bit once we get into the matchup, but we are waiting for the agent select. Slight delay, so we'll jump into the match, we'll jump into agent select as soon as that is
I don't know
available.
if I'm being baited there. I mean, I saw Sova maybe getting hovered on one of the monitors.
I mean, if
I don't.
maybe on the side of Heretics.
Yeah.
Did you recognize the jersey?
I think it was the Heretics players, yeah.
Maybe we're not going to be seeing the changes. You were talking about John QT also as well. Boo on the other side. I think that, you know, that head-to-head is something that we need to take into accountability here.
And agent select is through, and you can see once again, Heretics locking in that Sova KO.
Yeah, not a big fan. I think that it relies also a lot into how they set up Boo and how that's going to work. I think that Benji in the past has been very predictable with the utility that he uses on Cypher now that they're starting here on the defense. So I think that is something that Sentinels might be able to exploit.
Yeah, full steam ahead, looking at that proactivity of Heretics, how they set up Mini Boo for success, how he's going to be taking these fights as well, and whether Sentinels are going to be ready for it. If they've got protocols in mind, they're going to be playing positions in anti-flash, trying to bait out the util, bait out those positions to try and punish them. That's going to be a real important key for Sentinels here.
The tension is on. This is it. You know Heretics don't want to go out 2-0 here after one hell of a run in EMEA kickoff. And for Sentinels, a 2-0 victory here would be a statement for them.
And not only that, going back into the international stage, imagine if they make it again to the finals at least without dropping a single map after the insane kickoff that they had.
That would be absurd, but that is for the future. For now, though, let's live in the present and send it over to your casters. Of course, it's the tag team style. It's Pansy and Hypon.
GB is always so
Correcto,
nice.
correcto.
You know, he
Lo
gives those nice throws there, Mike. What do you make of them?
He missed a Spanish pun though, up on the.
I think he actively chose.
Interesting choice.
Although I did like the Delulu comment from Kukuka there, that was pretty solid. And yeah, maybe Niels is a little out of it right now, but I think there was some sort of value in what he was saying, 'cause it kind of went back to us going, I want them to be proactive, we want them to take those fights, but then there is that case of, okay, but just go and diff Sen, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I get it.
We can never get away with saying things like that, like,
True.
oh yeah, Heretics through that second half. But I don't want to accredit it all to that. Yes, you could tell that. I mean, I feel like they got locked out of it so early on, and then I guess it does become a confidence issue of. Then you have to justify, you know, Mini Boo running it down or sending him out on a mission to try and find his opening engagement. When Zekken's already, statistically, he's dominating that game from the get-go in the second half.
Here we go, folks. Second map here. Lotus was 13-9. Sentinel's choice and Sentinel's win. And it's a brave pick to come in here. On this map, Sen have looked pretty solid to my eye on this one. Takes a little less tape, but decent results, taking down some big names over in EMEA, but again, Sentinels look very sharp this time, and Benji Fish is in a world of trouble. He's actually re-swung the smoke, though. So happy to challenge, and every time we talk about it, everyone just disrespects those smokes on B market. You need that follow-up presence.
Absolutely do. Zelsis will get the plant.
सर्व कधी घेणार अशी एंट्री तू साईडला
Perfect for Zeka to follow up on.
Yeah, that's not bad, and that's a great bit of damage. Securing the clothesline, but Miniboo right back into it, biting back. Now, 3v2, noting only one of the players here.
Look at the HP for Zelsis.
One and done at best, right? Surely, you can see them trying to play together. Love that. Love that push and pull. Miniboo going to fall for it, but there's the overwhelm. The HP going to reign supreme here. That's going to be the diffuse coming through for Heretics, dealing with the absolutely almost insurmountable amount of casualties over in market, right? That was just the bloodbath.
And the paint shell's perfect, but Miniboo sliding in, unannounced it, finds the response necessary. Sassy, unfortunately, really able to have a say in this. Look at Miniboo's HP as well, just outside the fragment. Zelsis found one before falling, but he said the HP almost decided that.
Tripne totally.
How can you not love Benji Fisher as well?
Yeah, really hard not to.
Yeah, genuinely great to see him at this stage. So pumped up. But hey, we've already seen it doesn't really matter how many rounds you get on one half. Sentinels have that capability to bring back anything, so don't worry too much about the pistol. There's a buy behind this. Stingers are plenty, Sheriff, and a full sight hit coming in. You can already see they've had to respect this enough. That Shock Dart could have done a bit of chip damage, and I think it might have caught a couple on the way, but the plant is in.
Geli round. Sentinels win.
Sticking to these very, very close proximity positions. Heretics have to weigh out these smokes. Ground will come through, but Sentinels now going to approach this after giving up a lot of this site. Zeka though to open things up.
That was so well played. Between the two of the flashes coming through. That was outstanding. Making those stingers work and trying to break
I'm Harley.
Let off the leash just a little. Closing it back to this 2v2, but the defuse needs to be the next port of call. You can already see them getting towards halfway. The spray not enough. The reveal! And the death!
Just
the end diffuse is there.
चांगला काढलेला.
Heretics holding on for a second, but that's deadly.
Zekken चांगला खेळला Zekken.
That's very difficult to lock down, you know, spamming stingers into smokes and whatnot. It's really tough to try and close things out. Zeka, I mean, gets everything you could want and more, to be honest, from this position.
I love the double flash kind of combinations we're seeing at the moment.
What was this double? What?
Okay, that seems unreasonable, doesn't it? Oh, Abbasi.
That second shot is outrageous. Looking to carry across that momentum from the first half. The Sentinels now got planned once again towards B site.
But I like this test towards middle at the same time. Haven't seen too much of an exploration. They've mostly kind of cut in through market, which is very reasonable, but kind of like to see what they're doing here, see if Zelsis can maybe pry some information of what this mid hold looks like, how they can maybe exploit a rotation, if they can pressure top mid potentially. As it stands, there hasn't really been much of attention put towards A either. No real challenge on it. Okay, Miniboo. Fair enough, and Benji the timing on that, it still gets a kill. Still gets it.
Down to 5 HP though.
He's going to have to depend on the others to kind of pick up the slack, which is exactly what he's doing.
Sentinels unable to find a way in just yet, but
अजून पण तेच करतात बघ.
Posting a shorty right now. Look how deep, yeah, I was going to say, look how deep Heretics are though.
Riens could be vulnerable, maybe.
See the pings coming through towards market. Patika actually catching a shot there as well, so forced off the angle.
I was waiting to see if Zekken was just going to let it rip, just fly in there, but allowed for the plant to come in.
हिनी काढायला पाहिजे एक दोन तरी.
Their time. Still going to wait for Boo to come back over to an extent as well. Paranoia gets posted, and that's when it's time to strike. Zekken does so well. Takes down Riens, but the trade comes out. Benji Fishy barely alive, but still finding value. 10 still standing. 20 HP. That's a lot to ask for, even for him. But there we go. Boo is there. It may not be pretty, but it's round 3.
There's a chance for the Sentinels to get things done there, but Heretics with a course correction. close things out. A 3-0 start. I said we don't want to talk about that too much of what happened in the first map, but it's off to a good start here on Sunset. That break in between maps has allowed them to just catch their breath, bring their confidence back to this. Sentinels have got a lot of ultimates coming up here. Key being the showstopper here for Zekken. This side of things, no command away for Patitech. Miniboo position as well, might even get aggressive here with seeing him up against the spawn barrier.
They can have a scrap on it. Yeah, they absolutely are. There's intention behind it, that being Miniboo. Pressuring much deeper. Going to force Sentinels to have to re-clear this with a little bit more kit.
And this is exactly what we wanted to see them do on the previous map. Take some of this space away. Don't give Sentinels the freedom. Sentinels have re-cleared this so very quickly. Decisively as well. Look at the mini-map. Everyone from Heretics is
get that.
resorted back to a deep position already.
That's scary though. Second just go. Does he wait?
Alt.
Looks like they want to go for it yet. Does Boo manage to survive? Catching a couple of flashes, the TP taken, and the ult not going to land completely. Rienz keeps his life. Sen have the site though, and we look for the retake. Miniboo already clearing through middle quite quickly, but look at Zekken's position. Just on the other side of that smoke though, left and right, he could be in danger. How much damage can one man do? Zekken checks his corners, heads up work from him and gets out of danger. Beautiful work from him. Really disrupting this retake now.
Glimpse of Rienz as well here, but down to 27 FC, spammed out. Miniboo will find the kill here, but the lineup, Miniboo finds a second.
He's still going. Tens goes down, it's on John QT. And he can't even see the defuse right now. He can't stop it. There's so many bodies. Surely not. Surely not. He's still going. Halfway achieved. It's not everything. Rienz is low. Maybe. Oh,
काढलेला.
He's absolutely got it. Miniboo, the saving grace of Heretics here.
Little touch and go with how confident Heretics swing back onto that retake, but came right down to the wire. Miniboo able to stabilize, so John QT with a chance and an outrageous clutch.
God, he tried. Look at this one. Beautiful work from John QT. You almost could have taken him on at that point, but again on the other side.
Look at where Miniboo comes off there.
Oof.
The Sentinels to pump the brakes here, a 4-0 start on Sunset.
And what a disparity to map one where they'd never pumped the brakes like that, Mike. Even after that first half, full faith in the second, knowing what was going on. Maybe feeling what they're seeing wasn't what they're expecting, or maybe just wanted to touch base on what's going on.
The timeline very indicative of the game plan here for Heretics. So it was their detriment on the first half, but now where they are conceding space, they are succeeding in the retake. Postbarn's not looking as comfortable here for Sentinels. We really shown presence towards mid, wants nothing towards A site whatsoever, really. Well, that's what's being discussed now. Start exploring the map elsewhere. But a concern being now, I guess with the pendulum swinging back in Heretics' favour, they do continue to take the space away, be a little more proactive. Niels did say that was, I guess, kind of their downfall on Lotus. So they're looking to dial into that.
And if you're going to add maybe a little bit more credit to it, Miniboo on 8-3 is certainly going to help things, right? You're talking about confidence. He's doing very nicely. Obviously, Zekken, he's obviously having a bad start, but it's...
That's a showstopper already as
well.
Yeah,
exactly. It's, again, keeping it within context. It's not like anyone's having a terrible performance from Sentinels, but in this map so far, Miniboo is really doing quite nicely, being in the right place, right time, not feeling like he's been caught out anywhere. And again, if you are Heretics, you will be predicting that Sentinels are probably going to try at least maybe an A site take, maybe get that proactive beginning again, could be a good look. We'll see if anyone's going to get contact on the knife from either side. Get dealt with, since else is going to have to pull away from that with a limited amount of info. Yeah, first real test towards A here, Mike.
Just know after the knife. Two members of Heretics creeping up.
Miniboo better rotate now.
Yeah. So it might get played out this round if we continue with that flank. We're just going to leave Benji posted up a little deeper. Sentinels poised outside A. We've got to be careful as well. He's semi-committed.
Well, they've creeping really close. They're ahead of that smoke. And yeah, there we go. Needs to get out of there. Ult on the way. Dealt with in unison because Heretics are here because of that deep push up from Benji Fishy, holding the entirety of that B space. They have the players here. So do they pull the plug? 50 seconds? Do they continue along this trajectory? The Knife going to find nothing. So they know they're not particularly playing site. May need to be a bit careful of site itself. But they don't have a springboard here. Maybe depending on John QT's space that he's finding.
He's not going to find anything through mid or through the door. So I think Sentinels are committed towards this now. Ton of blinds
Really
coming
nice.
through here, yeah.
They got to use it though. They got to take that space that was given to him off the back of the flashes. Zek going to try and make it work, but it's Boo. Big deny. 10's still going to be holding on to this though, keeping a little bit of space safe. But look at this, they flooded back towards the site. There's a very limited amount of utility left on Sentinels to make this work. And 13 seconds out, they've still got to clear the 2 boxes. They have no idea about Boo. Cleared out by Zelsis. Good trade from Mini Boo. But Sentinels, the last hurdle, can't make it count. Rienz is there, sweeping through the site. John QT brought to his knees. Heretics making it up to 5.
Sentinels don't even get the spike down this round. Found success doing it elsewhere in every other round. And this Audible coming out of the timeout, not working at all. Rienz looking crispy on that 3K. Heretics in total control of the
बस
start
चला
of map 2.
बाय बाय गुड नाइट सोफा लिया